Hey there, singles. This is Denise with Modern Priscilla Tarot, and you have been attracted to this message at this point in time because this is a timeless message for you. If this is the first time at my channel, I'd like to say welcome. Please go ahead and hit subscribe so that way you don't ever miss out on another video. So let's get started. Today I have the Modern Spellcasters Tarot spread out with my clear quartz. I like to open up readings this way and get the energy flowing. We're going to find out what message do we have for singles at this point in time, whenever this is being viewed, wherever these singles are in the world. What are the messages that singles need to hear? One more shuffle. Singles. Do singles need to hear? All right. All right. That was a good shuffle. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I set out 8 cards to start. I have 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. I read left to right. And then I add 4 more cards as a bridge. So therefore we can read top to bottom as well. So I will explain as we go along so that way you can see what's going on and where I'm getting some of this information from. Okay, so let's see what we've got, singles. All right, so we're starting off here with the Page of Wands. This page is very full of passion, heat, excitement, energy, wants to get things going. The suit of Wands is a suit of effort and growth. So this is all about growing. Our page is usually kind of an immature energy. And by immature, I don't mean childish. I mean in the beginning of the journey, meaning kind of inexperienced or perhaps at the very start of something. This is about thinking and being hopeful about somebody or something. This is not cups. Cups would be a slam dunk about love, but this is wands, which is growth. And your personal growth, the growth in a relationship that maybe you've already kind of gotten going, or a person that you might have in mind at this very time. You're kind of waiting to hear something. You might be kind of sitting there wondering what's going on, or how come I'm not getting the communication that I would expect. We're not moving this forward. And the reason I say it's not moving forward is we have our 3 of Swords here. The 3 of Swords is kind of about disappointment, kind of about heartbreak, just not feeling like, again, being swords, we're talking about communication. So not getting the communication that you want, or perhaps any communication at this point. Remember, we're listening, we're waiting, we are wanting some communication, whether this is somebody you already know or maybe somebody you're just about to meet. You might have a communication effort or issue, which leads to our 4 of Swords, which tells me, you know what, once you realize that this isn't kind of going the way you wanted to, or you're feeling frustrated, the 4 of Swords indicates that you'll be taking a time of rest and relaxation to try to figure it out. The 4 of Swords, this person is trying to figure out a new plan, a new way to go, you know, kind of reflecting on what has happened to this point, but then, you know, making the plan of how to move forward. So this is something that you're going to need to do. So that's important advice from the tarot to try to keep things moving along when you're feeling like that. We've got our 9 of Pentacles. This work that you're doing is definitely leading to a successful point for you. Now, again, success is not just to say, oh, you're going to be with somebody and, oh, it's going to work out. We're talking about success overall. You have to think of your own happiness, your own fulfillment, the other areas of your life. You certainly can't just focus on a relationship or a person, or you'll neglect the other portions of your life. So again, this is saying keep it in check. Keep it in check. Now, while you're keeping it in check and you're thinking about a new way to do things after feeling like communication isn't there, looks like we have some things coming, some good things coming. We have our Judgment card. Now, again, we're feeling successful. We're feeling better about our communication. And then here's the Judgment card. This is about rebirth, rejuvenation. This is about kind of starting again in a new way, a new setting. This also talks about resolving what you can't fix, just letting it go, not sitting there not dwelling on things. And you know what? Figuring out how to fix it, or figuring out if it can be fixed and moving on. This might be a communication effort that, this person's not worth it. This person is either here or is coming, and you're going to be doing some growth here, trying to figure out how to proceed, and whatever it is that you come up with is the right path. It's looking like you're going to be in a successful trajectory with this kind of situation. I say that also because right after that we have the Fool. The Fool is all about kind of having that feeling like anything is possible. We're going to start off on this new journey. I'm moving forward. I'm excited about this. So we've released things, and now we're ready to move forward. Now, what is the journey? Well, I'm not seeing a ton of cups. So I obviously know, being single, that part of what we're working on here is you're wondering, when is this relationship coming? Well, right now, after, things are going along, your disappointment in communication, feeling better, getting on track with things, ready to kind of start the next chapter, we run right into our Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles, this is all about, really kind of paying attention to things. We don't want to fall back into a pattern where we're getting our heart broken, or we're just having to constantly reevaluate how are we doing things, things like that. We want to get to the rebirth feeling. This is, sometimes very much an inner job. You've got to kind of get on board with whatever it is you're recognizing, whatever you've learned, and whatever you're feeling. You have to stay true to yourself. And this is talking about staying focused on those details, not losing sight of yourself. This card also, the way the artist has chosen to depict the card, it also brings up a real feeling of being connected and caring about the other people in your life. Remember, what we talked about is not losing yourself by only focusing on a romantic relationship. It's thinking about, what about the other things in my life? I have other relationships. I have friendships. I care about myself included in there, right? So we need to be paying attention to the details about life, what we're picking up, where we're spending our time. This is really, really strong. And here our Nine of Wands is saying the same thing. Notice we start off with Wands and we end with Wands on this level of the reading. The Nine of Wands, again, Wands, growth and effort. The Nine of Wands is talking about being, willing to listen, but cautious and not giving up. I think your boundaries are going to be challenged. I think you've had here a little bit of a disappointment either coming up, or, you've just recently probably had something like that. Got a refocusing effort going on, feeling good, ready to start. Paying attention, though, ready to start our new journey with kind of a renewed focus on the other areas of our life. And then here we are kind of holding on to that. You might be challenged, in some way. People getting in the way, new things popping in, things like that. Let's do our bridge and see how all of these connect. Now, the bridge is, like I said, it's 4 cards. This is going to be read top to bottom, and it will connect the 2 levels. Okay, so let us see what we've got. Okay, so from here, we're waiting, we're listening, we're hoping for an opportunity to grow. Something's happening. We want to get to our point where we're feeling reborn, and the sun is the bridge. The sun is what brings that over. The feelings, The feelings that are associated with a relationship are very much in a pleasant and happy, joyful position for you in terms of your thinking, in terms of your feeling. I think that you are craving, you're very much craving a relationship because in some way it makes you feel like you're going to be able to start over. You're going to start that next chapter. You're going to get somewhere with it. You know, the sun is all about hope and optimism. It's about success. So what this is saying is, you know, a relationship, while it does make you feel this way, and that's exactly what a relationship should feel like, we need to make sure that we are focused on, again, the other aspects of life really came through strong. And if we are only looking toward a relationship to kind of make us happy, you know, if we're counting on the relationship to make us happy, we are providing too much power to one aspect of our life. Remember what we saw over here about paying attention to the other aspects of life. If we think that relationship's the only thing that's going to make us whole, make us real, make us complete, make us happy, make us worthy, then we're going to run into problems. So this is advice from the tarot, another way to think about it, right? So here we've got our broken heart card and our new journey card. It is bridged by our high priestess. Now, the high priestess works a lot on intuition. She is very wise. She is very calm. She knows that something is coming, and that just like the cycles of the moon, you know that the cycles will change. You're never worried, is there going to be a full moon this month? Because you know there will be, right? It's that calm, knowing kind of feeling, right? So we've got our Three of Swords, and then again into our Fool, the bridge. What this is saying, you know what? You are going to need to refocus here, because perhaps what you have determined in your mind makes a good partner, or is what you are looking for to start a new journey. Maybe you've kind of got to reevaluate that. Sometimes when we're looking for something and we have an idea in our head, that's all we see, and we only see it black or white. Like it either is that or it isn't that. But we're forgetting all those things. And in fact, what we're looking for, or think we're looking for, may not even serve us in the first place. So in order to be able to start over like our Fool, or to have new opportunities for a new chapter and not get our heart broken, is we need to be able to evaluate, why do we keep going to this, maybe? Or why are we drawing this to us, these people, or that aren't doing us any good, or they're ending up in heartbreak, right? So this is about kind of reevaluating what it is you're looking for, right? Okay. So next, we have our reevaluating card. Interesting. Again, with pay attention to the details and focus on the other aspects of our life. Well, we have our Page of Pentacles. This is a perfect bridge for this, because this is part of the reevaluation process. Paying attention to the details goes very nicely with our Pentacles. The page is at the beginning stages of something. This is a kind of about an inexperienced way of doing things for the first time. In order to pay attention to things for the first time, one of the things we should do is what? Pay attention to the details. Notice things. Don't just nonchalantly be walking through life thinking it should work out for you because you want it to work out for you. Learn from your mistakes and benefit from your successes, and be ready to reevaluate when necessary. Just like water, water's always flowing. We are developing, we are changing, we are learning, we are growing. So the page is talking about figuring out kind of how to do that, moving slowly. So as a single, I don't know if your MO, your tendency is to be like, let's jump in really quickly. And oh, that's it. I met you. And 3 days later, I decided I love you. You know, this is saying don't do that. Go slowly, evaluate things, make sure. And that, again, paired up with our evaluation and our pay attention to the details is wow. Wow. Next, here on the end, again, we have our Nine of Pentacles, which is our success, you know, feeling good. And then we have our Stand Our Ground card. You know, standing our ground. We've got 3 nines on top of each other. This means this row is, or I should say column, is very strong. So success, you know, pay attention. Don't let people kind of throw you off. with our Nine of Swords as the bridge. The Nine of Swords talks about feeling that disappointment. And Swords is also for communication. So I think what this is saying is be careful of other people's advice. It doesn't mean their advice may not be helpful or meaningful, or that they meant, you know, they didn't mean well. Of course they meant well. Of course, what they say is what they think will help you. But this is saying, you know what, don't get overwhelmed or burdened by what other people are telling you to do. You know, advice is one of those things that you can kind of take or leave or pick out little pieces. Sometimes advice, why you might not take that particular advice, it inspires yourself to come up with something new. So I'm not saying don't listen or don't, you know, or panic and don't be like, you know, get away from me. But what this is saying is don't let other people's advice, don't let other people's ideas of success break your stride, change things. You know, a lot of what our lives are about is about how we think about things. You know, people's advice coming in is, as I just said, you know, very useful at times, but other times it's just crap, you know, and it's just them trying to help, but it doesn't apply. Every person is different, and what works for one may not work for another, but it could inspire some new inspired ideas that you kind of come up with too. So listen, but be guarded. Be guarded. Ooh, singles, this is some great advice. This has got some things to really think about right now. And if right now you're thinking, I don't have anything like that going on, or, you know, boy, I don't think I do that. Reflect. This might be just like a little flag to say, hey, look at this for a little bit. If you're feeling like, wow, I haven't had these things happen, well, then this would indicate that this is what's brewing. This is what's brewing in the energy right now. All right, my friends. Well, I hope this was helpful. Please be sure to hit subscribe, and I would love to hear from you. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if this applies to your situation. I'd love to communicate with you and interact with you, so please be sure and leave a comment. I'll be doing another reading for you soon, so hit that notification bell so you never miss out. Thank you so much for watching this reading, and I wish you the best. I will see you next time.